Hello, friends, and you are our friends. Welcome to On Top of the World. As always, I'm Joshua Hadley. One day I'm not gonna be Joshua Hadley. Like I'll be something else, like a giraffe or whatever. But I'm joined, as always, by the man of the hour, the man with the power to shoot sound. It was the measure great all night and shield. Oh, it's coming yet.
Maybe one day I won't be the man of the hour, the man with the power, you know? Maybe
No, you'll be the man of 48 hours when we do that long of an episode.
True. Hi, I'm Justin, that's Josh, and this is the Best Pictures episode, the Oscars in general. Yeah.
And you gotta pay
95th.
attention to him, because he's Lord Justin Belanger.
Yes.
You.
Of the Principality of Sealand.
Yeah, see, I wanted to say just small life updates, so not even my life, but in Kotzebue, we've had the city declared a disaster yesterday. No, on Wednesday. We've had like three storms in a row. I showed you my pictures. My doorway was completely covered full of snow. And like I haven't even finished shoveling the yard yet. I've been spending like an hour a day or something on doing that. I've been very busy with that nonsense. Yeah, not very fun. We gotta boil water and whatnot, but hanging in there. Anything you want to talk about before we go on to best pictures? Like that time you stubbed your toe.
That was a rough time in my life, you know? I still can't believe I made it.
I mean, wow, the adversity some people go through, you know, it's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah. So it's the 95th Academy Awards. Gonna be in at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood.
Los Angeles. Yeah.
Cali, United States.
Hosted by
North America,
Jimmy Kimmel,
Earth.
because they just wanted to go with the plain white bread for this one.
I thought they've been using them. I know Ricky Gervais has done it. Let's see, Ricky. I can't remember past
Jimmy
that.
Kimmel is just like boring. Like he's just a boring choice.
I
I
don't even. Come on, Gopher. Let's not pretend we're not watching the ceremony. We don't. We were punished last year for it because of the Chris Rock getting slapped by Will Smith thing. But like, there's no reason to watch the ceremony itself.
Yeah, I just wait to see who won things.
Actually, you know what? I say that, but Gopher's gonna be there. He's gonna be in a suit. He's gonna have his hat.
I don't own a suit. Well, actually, I have a hat, but I don't own a suit. I don't ever wear the hat, but I do have a hat.
What about your birthday suit?
Well, I feel like I might get arrested if I try showing up in that.
I mean, might.
Well, yeah, you know.
Why are you letting that stop you?
'Cause jail? Then again,
What?
free healthcare and food and all that all comes into, you know?
Plus,
not a bad
you can
gig.
work out.
Yeah, you know, a lot of time for that.
And you can play chess.
Yeah. Just what I want.
Exactly. So, we're gonna mainly on the show, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna mainly go over the Best Picture awards. Later on, we'll go over the other awards. You know, I mean, we don't want to go as long as the ceremony itself. That'll be like next year's podcast. where we'll have Jimmy Kimmel on the show. How about that?
All
right. So first thing I wanted to talk about is who we felt got left out. Gopher is watching a whole bunch of Asian films. They don't get on there often. I don't know if you keep track of like what comes out what year. For me, I figured it wasn't gonna get nominated for Best Picture, but I really enjoyed that film with Nicolas Cage. Was it The Massive?
Yeah, The Massive Weight of Incredible Talent or something like that.
Yeah, The Massive Weight of Incredible Talent. That's it.
Yeah.
That was a very fun film, and I think that was. I seen 3 films in the theater last year. It was that I can remember. I'm thinking here. It was Top Gun Maverick. I watched that with my sister and my father and my nephew, maybe my niece too. I watched the Thor movie, Love and Thunder, on my birthday, and I watched the massive weight of incredible talent because it's Nicolas Cage, and that looked like it was incredibly fun, and it was.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've seen those three films this year. What about you? Well, in the theater, I meant.
Yeah. I mainly just go to the theater to see MCU films, because meaning to avoid spoilers. I will be going to see Scream 6 next week, but that's next week. Um, Let me think. So, obviously, I've seen like the last few MCU films. Sometimes I go see horror.
Tar.
I did see Avatar 2, specifically because it's one of the Best Picture nominees. It was the only way for me to watch it. Let me see. I'm like looking through the films I've watched. I keep track of on TV Time, and not a lot of them are in theater situations for me. I saw Black Panther, the second one. Um, Barbarian. That's one that isn't an MCU film that I saw in theaters. That was good.
Hmm. Is
Uh,
that like Conan or something?
no, it's a horror movie.
Oh,
Yeah, not a Conan. Um, and like you said, most of what I watched is Asian films that were not from this year. Some were close, some were like 2020 and such.
uh,
I've seen one Asian film from this year, I believe, which was The Witch Part 2, the other one, sequel to The Witch, which was good. Bullet Train, I saw in theaters and really liked, but that was a really good one.
I saw that one um on the treadmill when my dad was watching. That seemed like a fun movie.
One of the most fun. I compared it. It seems like a weird comparison, but I compared it to Super Mario Odyssey in the sense of like Super Mario Odyssey was one of the just like most fun experiences I've had playing a game. Not like focused too much on specific things. It was just fun, and that's what I got with Bullet Train. Nope. Saw Nope in theaters.
Oh, I gotta see Nope too.
Jordan
Like,
Peele
yeah.
movie. It's a good one. That was last year, right? Yeah, July.
Yeah.
July.
Yeah, I remember the actually seeing the trailer in the theaters, and that was like pretty wild. Like that's a movie I definitely was seeing in
Yeah.
theaters if I had the chance.
Yeah. Thor: Love and Thunder, Jurassic World Dominion, which I enjoyed. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked it though. Other than that, yeah, I think that's about it for me for movies from this year. So that obviously, and I saw all the Best Picture nominees in the last like month or so.
See, and I think a film we really enjoyed got the most nominations, 11, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Mm-hmm. It did
Uh,
get quite a bit of nominations.
Hell. Yeah, and so it's gonna be the Sunday if you guys feel like watching that
Yeah, 2 days
tomorrow.
from tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, right? Because this
I,
goes up on
I'm
Saturdays.
I'm gonna probably be like or looking at porn or something.
I will be editing videos, but I'll be keeping track of who wins and such. We could do a little thing next week to go over who wins all the things.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll tell them how wrong they are.
Yeah.
Cause like, alright. So let's talk about best pictures. I tried to watch. We'll go alphabetically. I tried to watch this first film, All Quiet on the Western Front. I always thought it was an interesting story. Not that I've read the story. I just thought that seems like something like interesting to check out. I tried to watch this. My dad was streaming the Iron Dog raffle, and I could handle like some background noise, but not people talking. So yeah, no, like I started it, and that happened. Like yeah, no dice.
So All Quiet on the Western Front. I have a ranking of all 10 films. I did watch all 10 of them. This one was ranked number 10 for me. I gave it a
It's a
5.1 out of 10.
it's a long film.
Well,
Like
most of them are long films. Most of them are like fucking 2.5 to 3 hours. Um, I just here's the thing. This suffers from the same thing that what the fuck was the musical last year? The remake,
West Side Story.
West Side Story. suffers from the same thing as that, where it's just not a genre I particularly enjoy. Like, I'm usually bored by war movies, and this was the same. I don't think it was a bad movie. It's just I couldn't get into it.
Especially World War One, where they're just in trenches. Like that's not much
Mm,
of action.
yeah.
That's more misery.
There were a couple
Or
moments where there was like some cool stuff happening, like some good action every now and then. But for the most part, I'm just not really into those kind of movies, so that ended up being the last one on my list. But I still think it was a good movie, and it was definitely better than my least favorite from last year, which was Licorice Pizza, which fuck
yeah.
that movie. Still don't know why that was nominated.
They had to like fuck. They had to pick the weird film to fuck with people.
Hey, let's glorify pedophilia. That's what we're about in Hollywood. Let's get that one
Yeah,
nominated.
yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not even talking about. We talked about on the show Tennessee. They could have made it for the people in Tennessee. Actually, California doesn't have a minimum age for marriage either.
mm.
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 Fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Long ass movie, World War One. See,
Not the
well,
longest. Not the longest movie. Not even close to being the longest, I think, actually.
see
It was only 2 hours and 17 or 20, 2 hours and 27 minutes. A lot of these were over 2.5 hours.
that was something that really annoyed me too going into this.
Yeah. Speaking of, the next one alphabetically, Avatar: The Way of the Water was the longest one, which was 3 hours and 2 minutes, I think,
Wow,
or 3 hours and 12 minutes.
my parents saw this in theaters and they talked about it a little bit. There Avatar adjusted for inflation and maybe even not. It could be untrue. Like maybe Infinity or Endgame is top without adjusting, being adjusted, but without adjusting for inflation, I think it's number two highest grossing film of all time, or behind, or just people watching it right behind Gone with the Wind. Um, yeah, there was a lot of hype for the film when it came out, and it just did not stick around. Like, it did not stay in people's imagination. Did you see the first film?
I saw the first film the same day I went to see Avatar 2.
Oh
Like,
wow.
I watched it on Disney Plus that morning.
How did you feel about Avatar and Avatar 2?
So the first Avatar I actually thought was like kind of good. Like it wasn't great. I wasn't blown away or anything. But it was pretty good. The second one I thought was way better. I thought Way of the Water was a big improvement over the original, and it's number 4 on my list. I gave it an 8.2 out of 10, which for me is an A minus because of the way I rank things. Um, I thought it was really good and
And,
better than the first one.
yeah. So you thought they did enough in the film, like to be entertaining or to get you like to hook your attention to justify the 3 hour runtime.
Yeah, I wasn't really bored at any point during that. Unlike with fucking All Quiet on the Western Front, where I was bored almost the entire time.
Well, it's all quiet,
True, true.
um. So, do you think we're gonna get Avatar 3? Did they leave the door open for that?
Oh, yeah, well, there's supposed to be like 6 of them.
Or they could go like the Avatar 87 next.
True. Yeah, there's been plans to do like 5 or 6 of them or something like that ever since the first one came out. But then James Cameron took like fucking 14 years to get the second one out. But I think the third one's supposed to come out like this year or next year.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll see if that actually happens. But yeah, there's definitely room for more.
Hmm. And this ain't even like the same kind of question. I guess I'll ask it. Do you feel like did you feel wanting more? Felt like you wanted more at the end of the film?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I knew that there's supposed to be more, and I just kind of left it thinking like, okay, I'd like to see some more of this. I enjoyed it more than the first one, so hopefully that upwards trajectory continues.
Hopefully. Let's see. Next film, The Banshees of
Inisherin.
Inisherin?
I believe it's
Inisherin.
Inisherin. This one is one of the ones I'd never heard of prior to the to watching the films. Um,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't sure what to expect. Upon watching it, so it's number 5, but it's just barely below Avatar. Like I have it at 8.0. Um, it's one of those situations where it's a movie I feel like I should have been bored by, but for some reason I wasn't. I just
Hmm.
enjoyed it all the way through. It kept me engrossed, even though it felt like I should be bored. And I like when movies do that.
See, so it's a black tragic comedy. It says.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like it's a black comedy, but with like I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's kind of different from anything I've seen before. Also,
I don't
it's
know.
one of those movies where I always forget that I like Colin Farrell. Like he's somebody who I'll see in a movie and I'll enjoy him a lot, and then like a couple weeks later I'll forget that I ever enjoyed him in anything. And it's like that for every movie I see him in.
Damn it, Janet. Um, Colin Farrell. Like, what's he been in? I'm just looking over like his top films: BBC, Tigerland, Warzone. I've never. Oh, yeah, I never seen any of these. Like,
Let's see. Looking at his Wikipedia real quick. Like I've seen the Batman, the Batman film from last year where he played
oh,
Penguin.
that's it.
Um, the remake of Fright Night I saw.
Oh, wait, you know what? Here's the one film I've seen: Saving
Fanta-
Mr. Banks.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Let's see. That might be it. Let me check if there are any older ones. Horrible Bosses I saw.
Hmm.
Kicking It. He was the narrator in that. That's not the one I was thinking of. That's an actual documentary. I was thinking of the what the hell is the fucking Will Ferrell one called? Like there was a narrator in that? No, there was not.
I can't remember.
It's like Kicking and Screaming or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, that may be it. Yeah, I always enjoy him a lot in the movies, and then forget that I enjoyed him in the movies.
Damn it,
Mm.
Janet.
And he was also
Well,
really good
talking.
in this.
Let's see. I saw a trailer for Elvis, and I thought this seems really lame, but it could be fun.
Yeah, so this
Uh,
this was the one I went into anticipating it to be the next Licorice Pizza for me, because I fucking hate Elvis. Like I don't enjoy his
why?
music. Like I dislike his music, but I also just don't like him in general for a colorful variety of reasons. Um, the fucking blatant stealing from black people and making it as if it's like he was the creator of this kind of music, but then also there's the fucking grooming and other shit, which that I was disappointed with the film in the sense that, and I knew this was gonna be the case because it's a fucking Hollywood biopic, but they didn't really go into much of like the shitty things about him. Like the worst
Mhm.
they showed was like him getting addicted to drugs, and even that was like very vaguely shown. They didn't really show much. They showed like his relationship with his wife, but they
Did
didn't really go
well?
into the whole grooming aspect of it.
Did they at least make him fat at the end?
So like he was supposed to be, but he was like barely chunkier than he was the rest of the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, like it
Okay.
was. Yeah, I don't know. But that said, I enjoyed it to a degree. Like I gave it a 6.2, which is still a pretty good score for me. Um, I just my main issue was that they really downplayed like every bad aspect of Elvis, which is what I expected, but still disappointing.
Um. See, so do you think? I mean, how realistic? What, like, do you think this film was supposed to be realistic, or was he like treated somewhat like more of the mythology around them? Like, I'm trying to think of films like that. Like we've seen them where they're they're not actually trying to go for like being super realistic. Like, oh, here's what happened. Like, no, this is more the mythology
I think
around the
I think they were.
person.
It was trying to be realistic, but they were just leaving a lot of stuff out, and most of the stuff they were leaving out was bad stuff.
Yeah, I think it was last year I watched Rhapsody in Blue, and like that's also a biographical film with like almost none of the story in the film being true at all.
There was a lot that I like looked up on here, and some of it was true, some of it was not. Like one of the things was him getting arrested for like doing a fucking dance, like doing that wiggle dance that he does, the fucking like shaking thing.
Yeah.
That he was arrested, I think, for something around the time, but it wasn't like it didn't have anything to do with him dancing and fucking shaking. So yeah, yeah. But it was still entertaining, and there were aspects of it I liked. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
oh
All
yeah,
right. Finally, to one I've seen. I really enjoyed this film. I watched it with my parents.
everything, yeah, everything, everywhere,
Everywhere,
all at once.
all at once.
There we go.
Yeah.
Get that together. This is one that I've wanted to see for like since it came out. I just haven't gotten around to it. So I decided to leave it for last here because save the best for last, and it
Mm.
actually ended up being my favorite. So
Mine too.
I
Mine too.
gave
I'll
it
say that.
is the only one I gave a perfect 10. Perfect
Me
10
too.
rating. Look at that. Everything everywhere all at once. Number 1. Perfect 10. I fucking love this movie. It was just chaotic from beginning to end in a very fun way. Like even just the first the opening scene where they're like in the fucking laundromat. Is that what they're?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were working at a laundromat. Well, no, the dad owns the
Yeah.
laundromat, or or maybe, what's the guy's name? Like he was, the dad was like the kid from the Asian kid from the Goonies and Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom.
Oh wow.
So it's been a long time since I've seen anything with him in
Yeah.
it.
Like even that part where it's just like them all bickering, there was just like a certain chaotic energy to it that I really enjoyed. And yeah, just all the way through, super chaotic. A lot of like interesting, weird shit happening. Great performances. It was a fantastic film.
I really enjoyed the nihilistic themes of the
Mm,
film. What as a I can't remember that German dude's name, Nietzsche or Nietzsche? The philosopher. Like what does anything matter
yeah,
besides our own judgments?
yeah, yeah,
I think one of my favorite scenes. No, definitely, this was definitely my favorite scene and the one that got the most attention, especially from someone mentioned it on Discord. Might have been you, where they turned into rocks,
Hmm. All
and
right. Yeah.
yeah, that was a very even
Where
my
it's like
parents mentioned this.
just like subtitles, but they're not actually saying anything because they're rocks. That was a
Yeah,
fun,
and
fun part. Which also that it caught me off guard because like they brought that back towards the end of the movie, and I never thought that
yeah.
like a rock falling off a cliff would have me tearing up. Yeah.
But I really like the googly eyes when the rock turns around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so the idea of this film is they're like parallel universes, and
Yeah.
they could like get people to if we can get you, and like if we put the anal beads up your
Yeah, like you have
butthole,
to
it'll
do
give
some
you.
specific weird thing to like swap with a different universe or something. There's one part where in order to swap, a guy has to try to shove something up his ass. So like the main character is trying to fight him off from shoving that thing in his asshole.
Yeah, so like if Gopher does a specific thing, he could be a Gopher, like no, a Gopher from a parallel universe, or like they. No, you get their powers. So like if see if they were a real Gopher, you'd like become a Gopher, or
Yeah,
act like
yeah,
one, right?
yeah.
Something like that.
They had one
Yeah,
universe where like everybody had hot dogs for fingers. There's a lot going on in the movie.
yeah, that was really fun. The effects were amazing, just
Yes, really
incredible.
good, really good. There's not really anything
Uh,
bad I can say about it.
yeah, seemed like it was pretty long too. Although it was such a fun film. I'm just gonna check the length. Like,
That was
that's
it
a
was 2 hours and 19 minutes, so it was actually one of the shorter ones I think for this, but
what?
it was still over 2 hours. But yeah, one of the shorter of these.
That's amazing. Like,
Mhm.
it's almost 2.5 hours. It's one of the shorter films. That
Yeah,
before we move on to updates, I wanted to say like that's gotta like end. Like some move. We mentioned this last year, but some films do not need to go past 2 hours, or that could
Mhm.
be 2 hours. For feature length films, we're gonna have to start like talking time limits instead of like the time constraints. It's like you're not allowed to go past 4. You gotta like be so good to be 3.5
Yeah.
something.
So channel updates. So everything I said I was going to be happening on the channel last week is actually happening this week because I pushed everything back. I needed a break because I had a lot to do this past week. I met Mato. Everybody knows him. Tomato Biscuit. Did some other stuff. Going to a wrestling show tonight. Last night, as of this episode going up.
Is it a VIP?
Yes, VIP wrestling where I'll be
yeah,
seeing.
it's a cage match,
Yeah,
right?
Shane
That's the main
Taylor.
event.
Shane Taylor in a cage match. There'll be my first time getting to see Jonathan Gresham live. He'll be taking on Barrett Brown, so that should be a good time.
Hopefully it's not past
Yeah.
his bedtime.
True. But yeah, I will be getting back to editing videos properly this Sunday. So next week, all that stuff's gonna be going on.
Sunday.
Everything else still going as planned. GM mode, assuming that we can use SharePlay to do it. That'll be happening, I think, starting next Sunday. Gopher and Juck doing the deal. We will not be streaming Gopher and Tuck on Saturday this week. We're supposed to, but then Kmart decided, fuck it, we're still gonna mess with Brandon's schedule. So it'll actually be Friday, as in today of this recording. So yesterday for people watching. So if you want to watch whatever we streamed, I think it's Smash Bros. We're streaming. If you want to watch that, the video is on demand right now on Twitch. We'll also be streaming on Monday and probably Saturday next week, assuming Kmart doesn't fuck anything up there. And Gopher and Juck will be on Tuesday. We were gonna do Wednesday this week, but because I'm gonna be going to see Scream 6, but they didn't have any matinee showings, which are cheaper, so I got a later showing. So we'll be doing it on Tuesday, and yeah, Gopher and Juck and all that such.
Hell yeah. See, so there's also for Gopher and Tuck. There's the new podcast Honor Forever. We just had our first episode uploaded on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Yep, on Tuesday. And we're gonna do another episode on Thursday's Ring of Honor episode. This upcoming Tuesday. I haven't been. No, like I wanted to do a preview. My plan is to like do little previews of what's coming up for that episode, but I can't watch the show live because it airs when I'm at work. So I came home last night to watch the VOD, and I thought my internet was screwing up because that's very possible. But it turns out, no one like Juck tried to watch it. Ian tried to watch it like VOD, and wasn't working. So it was the website, not my internet for once. But yeah. I will see. I'll probably see it tomorrow morning. I feel like the bandwidth will be, or see. I'm pretending to know internet terms, ladies and gentlemen. You can tell. There'll be less people.
Less people online using your internet.
Less people awake online Saturday morning, and so I'll be the perfect time to watch it, and I'll talk about it this upcoming Tuesday on this channel. And for anything else, www.joshuajhadley.com for updates. Some projects. I got some ideas going on right now. I'm working on some things. I still got some things for sale. I sold some 360 controllers the other week. And someone's buying some other ones tomorrow. So actually, today I'm supposed to see them. Well, yesterday, to you people. Anyway, I've been extremely busy. Gopher. I weighed myself this morning.
Oh yeah.
I am at my lowest weight in a decade.
Oh,
217 pounds.
Oh damn! Look at that. Under 220.
And I've been laying off the sody pops. I've been laying off the monster. Well, I had one monster yesterday. Well, yeah. I saw a watermelon flavor at Napa when I was getting new work gloves. And I thought I gotta check that out. But I've been I haven't dropped caffeine as a whole. Instead, I've been drinking a replacement drink, Dubby, this energy drink powder. What the gamers have, kind of like
G Fuel,
yeah, like that. And I got this. We haven't got mail for a long time because of our weather. As I said in the beginning, disaster the city has declared. But I finally got my new flavor of W that I ordered on the podcast back in, was that 2 weeks ago or three,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, the peach, no, the beach and peach energy flavor. Sorry, I'm reading off the site. Um, I thought that I ordered that because it was the one thing not on for pre-order. I don't want to do that. But I did buy this. I didn't expect it to enjoy it as much as I do, and I think
Hmm.
it's right now it's my favorite flavor.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I've been drinking W every day. I really enjoy it, and see, I'm not gonna get this because it's caffeine free, but I see W has a new Monkey Madness hydration.
Mm,
I
get
wonder what
that.
the heck that could be. So
And
if
and
you want to be cool
wanna be
like
cool.
me,
Yeah.
you want to be cool like me, www.gg in the discount area. There's a little area there when
Yeah.
you're checking out. Put Gopher Tuck, not Gopher and Tuck,
No, just go
just
for
Gopher
talk, all one word.
Tuck.
You
Yep.
put that in there, you get 10% off, or if you click the link in the description, it automatically applies the code.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that there's a much easier way.
Yeah.
And if you're watching, there's a link in the description on YouTube. And if you're watching on Twitch, what's the command to bring up the link?
There's a couple different ones you could do: sponsor, sponsors, Dubby, I think maybe Dubby Energy. So any of those, you can just go ahead and there you go. It'll bring the link up and yeah.
Yeah, get yourself some caffeine, and maybe you could be everything everywhere all at once and fight your sister's parallel dimension self.
Nah.
All right, let's go on to our next film, the Fabelmans.
Daughter was her daughter.
That's it.
Her daughter's alternate universe self was the one she was
No,
fighting.
I just I was pretending like, all right, here's the listener. Here's what's gonna happen to them.
Okay, they get the sister instead of the daughter. Okay. Yeah.
You can't just do like they're gonna have their sequel story in their life, but it can't be exactly the same.
True.
Come on.
True. The Fabelmans. So this one was apparently a semi-autobiographical. Fuck it. About Steven Spielberg about his
the story.
adolescence and his first years. Like it's a fictionalized version, but there's like some aspects that are taken from that.
Just like Elvis, I just thought of that. Yeah.
I gave it. I put it number 7 on my list with a 7.2, which is still a pretty fucking good rating for me. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It's.
Man.
I wasn't expecting Seth Rogen to be there for some reason. Like he was part of the movie.
But he's in Steven Spielberg's life. He was right there.
Yeah. It was definitely a movie that, despite being an hour or 2.5 hours, I mean, it was definitely a movie that I sort of like. I enjoyed it more as it went on. Like towards the beginning, the first half was kind of not really gripping me too much, but then I got into it more in the second half. I enjoyed it. It was.
I'm
good.
just curious. So it's not Steven Spielberg's whole life they're trying to do. Like, how's the movie end? I think it's like the first 15 years of his career. They sort of like.
Well, it's mostly his adolescence, like before his actual career, like him getting into
there's a lot of that, yeah.
Him getting into like using a camera and stuff like that as a teenager, and all that. I think it ended with like him meeting up with some guy from Hollywood, and like getting an offer to work for TV, but then like something about I think like an offer to work for Hogan's Heroes, but then he's more interested in filmmaking, so he's like nah. And then he ends up meeting John Ford, and it's just like implied that he's gonna get to do some work in film, and that's how it is.
Are you talking about what happened in real life, or are you saying John Ford, the director who directed a whole bunch of John Wayne movies, showed up into this film?
Well, it was John Ford in the film, but not like the actual somebody playing John Ford.
Yeah. Well, it would have to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it was actually John Ford as portrayed by an actor in the film. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it ends with like the beginning of his career, like his career officially starting is the end of the movie.
So there was no, but they must have left out. Oh, hey, I want to direct a James Bond film. No, you're not directing on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Fuck you, Steven. It's not happening. I imagine they left that out.
Yeah. There was a lot of like showing the anti-Semitic abuse he got in school. A lot of that put in there of like bullies. Yeah.
Fucking Nazis.
The kid who played
the 60s.
The kid who played his name isn't Steven Spielberg in the movie. I think it's Sammy Fabelman. But yeah, he was the one who played the character based on Steven. He did really good. He was really good in the role. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
And that brings us to Tar. So Tar was the second to last movie I watched, and it was my second favorite. I was kind of, after I finished it, I'm like, damn, I hope Everything Everywhere All at Once lives up to the hype. Otherwise, this is going to be the favorite for me. I gave it a 9.1, which is a nice A ranking. Put it number 2. It was another one that, like a lot of the earlier stuff in the film, felt similar to the Banshees of Inisherin, where I felt like I should be bored, but I wasn't. It was keeping me hooked. And then it just got better as it went on as well. So yeah, it was a very good movie with a very good performance by Cate Blanchett. It had a lot of stuff where it's like there's like several scenes that are like 10, 15 minutes straight of just like a conversation happening that's like all one shot. Like there's no camera cutting or anything. And I really enjoy when films do that.
Oh, I think I was watching The Setup with one of my friends, and we were mentioning that, and he said, "Yeah, these older films do tend to linger. Like I dislike when something's like Monday Night Raw and they gotta cut to something else every 3 seconds or 2 seconds. It bothers me."
There was an Asian film I saw. Let me see what it was called. Remember what it was called? Up here, I have it highly ranked. Was it Japanese or Korean?
Or was it Mongolian?
Well, Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy? I think that's the one. Let me make sure. Because I get these fucking... I watch so many of these fucking things. I get the names mixed up. I think... Yeah. Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy, a Japanese film from 2021, actually, that had like a similar thing where it's like just characters having really long conversations, and that's like the whole scene. And that one was fantastic. That's my third favorite Japanese film of all time.
Oh, wow.
So like it had a similar vibe to that for the first half of this. Then it sort of went a little different, but even when it went different, I thought it was great. Just all around really good film, really good performances. There was one guy, I don't know who the actor was. It was sort of a small role. He had in one of the scenes that was like 10 minutes straight of like a conversation. It was like her teaching a class. And there was this kid who was, well, a kid, I guess he's like probably 19, 20.
Kid.
Yeah.
Younger than 1, 2, 3 kid.
True, true. His acting in that, like that was the only scene he was in. He did a lot of like really subtle things that like most people just sort of brush past that I thought was really good. Like the way he laughed in response to some of the stuff she said felt like actual laughter. Not like comedic. And then there was like this like twitching he was doing, like a very like legitimate kind of like nervous, but not fully nervous kind of twitch. So yeah, it's the acting was great. It was a very interesting movie. Kept me invested all the way through. And yeah, number 2 for me. Number 2 film of the.
I remember. I'm able to twitch like so quickly. Like you remember Enoch and Nigruk? They both said like they thought I was having a seizure or something because I like fuck around. But I remember, someone said like, "Oh, my dad had a seizure," so I'd stop doing it. But I can twitch wildly like that. Anyway, I think we're ready to talk about the war crimes in Top Gun Maverick.
Top Gun Maverick. So this is one of the ones you did see.
Yeah, I saw this in theaters with my like I said, with my family. I remember like the first comment my sister made was, the whole movie should have been where at the final where they're flying around and whatnot. And I said, you can't do that because the most exciting scene in Star Wars is the Trents on the Death Star. Like the whole film can't be that. You gotta build up to it.
Yeah, yeah. There are times where it works, where it's like something like that being the whole thing. Like Everything Everywhere All at Once, for instance, is like just crazy shit all the way through, and it works.
Mm.
But for something like this, you need to build up to it. So I never saw the original. I didn't watch the original.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
We have it on the videotape. I never put it in
I
the
never.
cassette player.
I didn't even because Avatar. I watched the original one before watching this one. I didn't do that with this.
So guys, when we have praise, there's no nostalgic
yeah.
feelings here.
So I went into it not really expecting much because I was never really interested in the first one, so I figured I wouldn't be interested in this one. But
you know what? Really quick, like we're not 80. Like we were born in the 90s. Like this wasn't made. Like that first film wasn't made for us. Like
yeah. I have it at number 8 on my list, but that's with a 6.8 rating, which is still a pretty good one for me. Like with the way I rate, high 6, early 7 is like pretty good, getting into really good territory. I did enjoy it. I didn't feel like I needed to watch the first one with this. Like I felt like there was enough context given to me. Although one thing that felt weird was that his Tom Cruise's love interest was not in the first movie, and I didn't know that until looking it up afterwards because it felt like she was, but apparently that's a new character.
The thing is, like, with Hollywood, you'll notice there's not a lot of like older women. Like there's a lot of older men like Tom Cruise, but there's not like older women like that. Like a lot of like ladies, if you look at their career, sometimes like they just act in their 20s. Like there's not like a lot of Betty Whites, for example.
It's just because they did it in a way where it felt like there was context with them setting up in the first movie, but then nope, she was not in the first movie.
Yeah. It is something like with the relationship. It's figured like if you went back to the first film, like where's this character that was so I don't know if she was so important, but she certainly had a role to play.
But it was good. It was like, again, I wasn't expecting much, but I ended up enjoying it. So
I do like that. Even though this film is like American propaganda, let's not pretend it's not. This film was banned in China, and it's one of was it the highest grossing film last year?
I think so. It was definitely up there if it wasn't.
So I do like that. I'm not against like doing Chinese films or having Chinese people, but I don't want every film to like consider like, oh, what do we have to do for the Chinese market? I'd rather like have artists be artists and it be something more natural than like something shoehorned in. You could have even done it with this film if it wasn't like like propaganda but like anyway, it's this film doesn't seem to be controversial at all, even though they're committing war crimes in this film. Like they're saying it's terrorists, but the place they're attacking is Iran. Like how would this not like be one of the biggest wars that happened ever if the story were real?
I enjoyed Miles Teller in it. He's usually good. He was good in this. And another like something interesting with this is that it sort of saved Hollywood because of COVID. Because like fucking Tom Cruise had his whole like meltdown when somebody was when they were breaking COVID protocol. Like he really went in on like enforcing that, which I commend him for. So yeah, it was a big thing for like Hollywood during the COVID era.
Wow. I don't want to spend too much time on this movie. I just wanted to say, if you've never seen it, all the the stunts with the fighter jets are real. They were done by the United States military. Those are really fantastic. Like some of the best maybe the best stunts of all time. Like, someone else will probably top it one day. When they do this shit in space, but like this is like that like the scenes where they're training and the final one where they're doing the mission. Like that's fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about it?
I don't really care too much about like this type of stuff, like flying in such a way. But even for me, someone who doesn't really care about that stuff, it was fun to watch.
Absolutely. I could talk more about this film, but unfortunately, Gopher's got he's got like watch the Tetris World Championship, and I got Court later on.
Yeah,
So
next film,
the next film,
Triangle of Sadness. So
Yeah.
this one, this is another one that briefly spent some time being the number one for me on this list until I watched Tar and Everything Everywhere All at Once. So it's number 3 for me with an 8.6 rating, which is really good, very good even. I super enjoyed this movie.
I rated this movie a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this film.
It was super fucking for me, it was similar to the one that I had as my favorite last year. Tell us the fucking one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, Don't Look Up.
Don't Look Up. In that, it was just like super fucking fun. It was a really entertaining movie.
Yeah. So the story is, this couple from Europe. They're having a spat. They decide to go on a cruise. The boat is blown up, and then they're stuck on an island. So yes, they did remake The Adventures of Swiss Family Robinson. No, I'm kidding. It did kind of feel like it was 3 stories, like because like the third act, Abigail, or the toilet cleaner, the cleaning lady definitely took on a bigger role.
Yeah. Well, it was presented that way as well, like because they had like part 1, Carl and Yaya, part 2, the yacht, part 3, the island. But it was really entertaining. Fucking Woody Harrelson was great during the yacht section. Where the captain.
What do you mean he was great? He's always great.
True. Woody Harrelson's one you can always count on for a great role. I did really like the cleaning lady from the yacht. Ended up like how she ends up being like the boss of it all when they're on the island because she's the only one who knows how to fucking do anything. Everyone else is just like spoiled rich people. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I feel like sort of like what realistically might happen too.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't like is this movie. I wanted to see more of it, and they ended it like very rapidly. There was no real climax. They find out. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! I gotta talk about this to just get my feelings out there. Skip ahead a minute if you hate if you have a like a half a nose. Alright, so yeah, the film ends. They find out they're on an island resort or something because there's like an elevator and some stairs, and like, figures Abigail doesn't want her power trip to end, so she's about to murder what's her face, and and then like the German dude's like, oh, I gotta get over there, and that's how the film ends. Like, that's the one thing I didn't like. And the thing is, like, I wanted more, and that's how they ended it.
He was British.
Look,
yeah.
I thought you were from like Italy. Like all white people are the same to me.
I believe they were like that couple. I believe were supposed to be a British couple. But yeah, it's like we're sort of left to guess whether or not she actually killed her or not, or if like he got to her in time, or what happened there.
You know what? This is their plan. They're gonna make like Avatar. They're gonna make like 20 of these films.
And then that leaves us with the final nominee, Women Talking, which is exactly what the title implies. Like most of the movie was just straight up a group of women talking, which, again, not something I expected to be interested in. I ended up enjoying it greatly. I gave it a 7.5. It was number 6 on my list.
Can you believe that? It's like women talking in 2022.
Well, it's just like the general concept of just people having a conversation. Just as the whole thing. It's like the
just like this podcast. Like, oh, it's two men talking, man. Fuck
Yeah,
this
you know.
podcast.
Well, I don't watch podcasts or listen. I don't listen to podcasts.
Man.
So like, the idea is that like it's a bunch of women who. I don't know if they're like Amish or what the deal was. They have that kind of look. I thought it was like I thought it took place like in the past.
Well,
but
you'd know.
Like I thought it took place like in the past, but then like at some point there's like somebody doing a 2010 consensus thing. So I guess it was not. So I'm assuming they were like Amish or whatever. But like the idea is, I guess, that all of the women in this group were like sexually molested. And so they're like trying to come to a decision on whether or not they should stay in their village or wherever they live, or if they should leave. And then if they leave, like where do they go? And like the whole thing is just them trying to come to a decision on that. And it was way more interesting than I anticipated.
Hell yeah.
Runa Mari was in it. She was great. Always enjoy Runa Mari. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but you know, always enjoy her. Yeah.
You know what? This film is women talking, but none of the ladies actresses in that film was nominated for Best Actress or Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising.
Man,
at least somebody would be. There was the one lady, the one don't know how to say this other than this, the one plus size lady from Euphoria.
The larger.
Yeah,
lady.
From Euphoria, she was in this, and I hate her on Euphoria. Like I hate her character in Euphoria. I liked her character here, so that was good. Yeah, it was it's a surprisingly interesting movie. Great acting. Surprised nobody was nominated for that. Good film.
So I think everyone knows what's our favorite already. It's 3, 2, 1. Everything
everywhere, all at
once.
Yeah,
we tried.
We tried. I'm gonna quickly go through again my top 10 and their ranking or their score. So number 10, All Quiet on the Western.
Wait. You were talking about we're supposed to go through the best director, best actor.
Yeah, but I'm just doing this real quick. Fucking number 10, All Quiet on the Western Front, 5.1. Number 9, Elvis, 6.2. Number 8, Top Gun Maverick, 6.8. Number 7, The Fabelmans, 7.2. Number 6, Women Talking, 7.5. Number 5, The Banshees of Inisherin, 8.0. Number 4, Avatar: The Way of Water, 8.2. Number 3, Triangle of Sadness, 8.6. Number 2, Tar, 9.1. Number 1, Everything Everywhere All at Once, 10.
I appreciate that. So anyway, what I've alluded to is we plan to do more, but I gotta go to the courthouse in about half an hour.
Yeah. I'm gonna quickly do these as well. Like we don't have to talk too much about. We don't gotta like really discuss anything. Just get all the nominees out there, and if we have an opinion, say who we think should win.
How about instead we just go through the winners next week?
Well, we gotta have our predictions, or not predictions, but like who we want to win. So be nice and quick. All right, like watch this. Watch this. All right, best visual effects: All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, The Batman, Black Panther, Top Gun Maverick. I would say I want either Avatar or Black Panther to win. I'm not sure which of those two I'd go with. Any opinion for you?
Everything, everywhere.
Not nominated. Not nominated.
Man, fucking bullshit.
That should have been. That actually should have been nominated. Yeah.
Yeah, of all the films, that's the one. That's the one.
Best film editing: The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, Top Gun Maverick. Got to go with Everything Everywhere All at Once for best film editing.
Yeah.
Although Tar is close as well because like the structure that they used, I really enjoyed. Best costume design: Babylon, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris.
Definitely Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I mean, that name is incredible. I actually thought about seeing that film, but I went with Nick Cage.
Yeah. I'd probably go with Wakanda Forever for best costume design. And that seems like a good one for that. Best makeup and hairstyling: All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, The Whale. Whale.
Did the Batman have good makeup? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The whole film was like grainy.
Well, The Whale had Brendan Fraser.
It's what they were going for, but like,
yeah. I never saw The Whale, but I've seen what Brendan Fraser looks like in it, so I'm gonna go with The Whale for that one.
Yeah.
With that. Best cinematography: All Quiet on the Western Front, The fuck is this? Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths? Never heard of that one. Elvis, Empire of Light, and Tar. Tar for me, for best cinematography.
That would make sense because wouldn't that be the most like? Aren't they dancing around? And there's a lot of things you'd have to do for that. It could be like
There's no real dancing, but it's like the long
Well,
shot
I'm
almost. Like,
sorry. Like when I think of cinematography, I think of like a fucking minstrel show. Like that's not all cinematography. I'm sorry, guys.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just my frame of thinking on what
Yeah.
cinematography is.
Best production design, which is All Quiet on the Western Front, The Way of Water, Babylon, Elvis, and the Fabelmans. What exactly is production design? Like the sets?
I think the way they make the stages in the studio.
Okay. Then in that case, probably Way of Water.
That makes sense. Like,
Yeah. Best sound, which I'm still upset about last year. Fucking Dune getting nominated for this when like half of it was I can't fucking hear anything, and the other half was oh my god this is too fucking loud.
yeah.
All Quiet on the
You
Western
know,
Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Elvis, and Top Gun: Maverick for best sound.
I I'll say like I've only listened to like one movie soundtrack last year, and it is Top Gun Maverick. I don't know if there's a soundtrack award, but
Well, there's a best
just
original song and best original score, so score would be that. But
yeah.
Top Gun's not nominated for that one.
I I'll just say Top Gun.
I don't really know what I would
Uh,
go with for best sound. Avatar, I saw that in theaters out of all these, so I guess it sounded the best to me because I was in theaters. Best original
yeah.
song, Applause from Tell Like a Woman by Diane Warren. Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick by Lady Gaga and Blood Pop. Lift Me Up from Black Panther by Thames, Rihanna, Ryan Coogler, and Ludwig. Don't know how to pronounce that name. Uh, Natu Natu from RRR. Music by Kiravani. And This Is a Life from Everywhere All at Once by Ryan Loft, David Byrne, and Mitski.
The only song I listen to like outside of watching the film is "Hold My Hand."
I don't really know which because I've seen Top Gun, I've seen Black Panther, I've seen Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't really know which songs these are specifically, but I'm gonna go with Lift Me Up because I like Rihanna.
She's good,
Yeah,
very good.
yeah.
You know
And
what?
Lady
You know
Gaga
what?
is too, though. So
You know what? I don't care what you say. She's great.
she is great. Best original score: All Quiet on the Western Front, Babylon, The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and The Fabelmans. I would say The Fabelmans because I believe it took place like in the '80s, and I like '80s music, so there's probably some good '80s music in that, if I remember.
True.
Um, Best animated short film, don't know any of these. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, The Flying Sailor, Ice Merchants, My Year of Dicks, and An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake and I Think I Believe It. I'm
I
pretty
gotta
sure.
see that. Just the name alone.
Yeah, you know what? Give me the last one. Let the last one win just for that fucking name. Best live action short film, An Irish Goodbye, Evilou, Le Pupille, Night Ride, and The Red Suitcase. Don't know any of those.
Damn.
Let's see. Best
Sam.
documentary short. I don't watch documentaries or short documentaries, but The Elephant Whisperers, Howl Out, How Do You Measure a Year, The Martha Mitchell Effect, and Stranger at the Gate. Those are things. Best documentary feature, All That
Well, I
Breathes.
just wanted to say the only documentary I watched, it was from 2020. Well,
Mm,
last year there was an older film, and it was on
mm.
Pepe the Frog.
I remember thinking about that. All That Breathes, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, Fire of Love, A House Made of Splinters, and Navalny. Don't know any of those. Moving on. Best international feature film, All Quiet on the Western
Oh,
Front.
here we go. This is
Art.
yours.
Well, I didn't. I've only seen one that was from 2022, and it's not nominated.
Damn.
Argentina, 1985. Close or Close. I'm not sure which that's supposed to be. EO, and The Quiet Girl. Obviously, the only one I've seen of those is All Quiet on the Western Front, but that was the
Can
one I didn't really care for. So, anything
can
else, I
we
guess.
can we appreciate that for Best Picture, Woman Talking is nominated, and for Best International Film, The Quiet Girl is also
Mm,
nominated.
mm. Best animated feature film: Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. That's a fun name. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, The Sea Beast, and Turning Red. I have not seen any of these. I've heard Guillermo's Pinocchio and the Puss in Boots sequel were very good though.
I need to see. Puss in Boots.
Mm. Best adapted screenplay: All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Knives and Knives Out, A Knives Out Mystery, Living, Top Gun Maverick, Women Talking. Glass Onion for me. Knives Out Mystery. I love that movie. That's the one for me for best adapted screenplay. What about you?
Um, trying to find the thing. See, maybe All Quiet on the Western Front, but isn't that like the only proper adaptation? I don't get the
Yeah,
I
well,
guess. Uh,
yeah,
I guess like from the what the person wrote to what they put on picture. I wouldn't know. That's for the fucking
yeah.
them to figure out.
Well, Women Talking was based on a novel, apparently. It's weird because like Glass Out or Glass Onion's like based on characters created by the guy who made Glass Onion, so I don't really think it's a
Yeah.
sequel, so it's like based on characters from the original movie. But even then, there was only one character from the original movie returned, so I don't know.
Uh,
So I guess going in by that definition, I don't know why that's nominated. So I would go with Women Talking since that's based on a novel. Best original
oh, I
screenplay.
could be wrong, but whatever.
Yeah.
Best original what?
Best original screenplay: The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, Triangle of Sadness.
Triangle of Sadness.
This one's tough for me because Everything Everywhere All at Once is my favorite movie in general of all these, but I think I'd have to go with Tar for this.
Hmm.
I think I'd have to go with Tar for that one. Best Supporting Actress: Angela Bassett from Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Hong Chau from The Whale, Carrie Condon from The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere All at Once playing the daughter. She's the one for me. The one who played the daughter and Everything Everywhere All at Once would get my vote.
Her. I was thinking her too.
She was
before you
fantastic
even
in that.
listed everyone off.
Yeah, she was fantastic in that. Best Supporting Actor: Brendan Gleeson in The Banshees of Inisherin, Brian Tyree Henry in Causeway, Judd Hirsch in The Fabelmans, Barry Keoghan in The Banshees of Inisherin, and Kei-Hugh Kwan from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Some tough competition. So the only one I didn't see here was Causeway, but then I also really like Brian Tyree Henry. But I would say out of these, Barry from the Banshees of Inisherin, he was very good. He played like a somewhat special needs guy. Like not fully.
I'm sorry, Gopher. Short Round is nominated, and Short Round wins.
Who is Short Round? Oh, the guy from Everything Everywhere All at Once, the character he played in
Indiana Jones.
So that's who you picked for that. I picked Barry. Best Actress. This one I'm very conflicted on. So we got Kate Blanchett in Tar, Ana de Armas in Blonde, Andrea Riseborough in To Leslie, Michelle Williams from The Fabelmans, and Michelle Yeoh from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Part of me wants Ana de Armas to win. I never saw Blonde, but I just fucking love Ana de Armas. But as far as things I have seen, I'm very conflicted on Kate and Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
I don't know who I want to win between those two. Very conflicted, so I would be happy with either of those winning, or Anna because I like Anna.
Michelle.
Best Actor: Austin Butler in Elvis, Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser in The Whale, Paul Mescal in Aftersun, and Bill Nighy in Living. For ones I've seen, I've only seen Elvis and the Banshees in this one. So between those two, definitely Colin Farrell for me. Austin Butler was good as Elvis, but yeah. Colin Farrell was great. Although I'd also kind of like to see Brendan Fraser take one. I like Brendan Fraser. Never seen the movie, but I like him.
We need Colin to get a W here.
Yes, I would also be very happy with that.
You know, he needs to slap Will Smith if he's presenting the award.
And finally, Best Director: Martin McDonough from The Banshees of Inisherin, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schneider, the Daniel combo from Everything Everywhere All at Once, Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans, Todd Field from Tar, and Ruben Ostlund from Triangle of Sadness. This is another one where I'm very conflicted between Tar and Everything Everywhere All at Once, based on the fact that it's director. Because again, like the way they went about doing those like long scenes and the single take, that's all part of the direction. But then the direction was also fucking amazing and Everything Everywhere All at Once. So I don't know. Very conflicted. I want either of them to win.
I'm going with the tag team here.
Going with the Daniel duo. And then obviously for Best Picture, I believe we have the same one that we're rooting for.
Yeah, the massive weight of incredible talent.
Yes, the not nominated film we are both rooting for that I never saw.
Exactly. Alright, so there's nothing much new on Gopher and Tuck till next week, right?
Yeah, well, this
That's
upcoming week we'll be getting back to stuff.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, so guys, if you've been like having like what's it called?
withdrawal.
When you haven't had what if you have your Gopher withdrawals, just join the Gopher and Tuck Discord where you can see me take Gopher and joke every day.
Yeah, yeah, get those nice puns that he's doing every day.
And if and to know if you're really missing stuff, like all your videos get posted onto the let's see what's it called, these schedule
Yes,
thing.
the schedule channel in the Discord server that
And
also
that's where the podcasts go up too.
yeah, and it doesn't tag anybody for the videos going up on YouTube, but it does do an everyone tag when we go live on Twitch.
All right, I need to go to the courthouse. www.joshuajhadley.com. I've been joining Dubby, www.dubby.gg. Put Gopher and Tuck in discount area
Go
to
for Tuck,
save
yep.
10%.
And
Go for Tuck,
yeah,
not Gopher and Tuck.
not
Go for
and
Tuck,
no and
or link in the description,
description.
or use the commands on Twitch. Sponsor.
Yes, yes. And we'll be back next week, where we will go over the results of the Oscars, and if anything fun happened, like Will Smith slapping someone, and we'll also talk about other stuff.
We'll talk
Right.
shit about Elon Musk. Fuck you, Elon.
Yeah, yeah.
Without a condom this time.
Yes. Goodbye.
See you guys next week. Thanks for listening.